Hey guys, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 8. I genuinely can't believe I'm on Day 8 already. Just a couple more days to go. And I don't want to say I'm running out of things to shoot. I think I'm running out of ways to shoot things. But today, I'm doing my tech setup. So let's start off with my phone. Doing what I do, I very rarely keep a single phone for more than 2 months at a time, just because I'm swapping between review units all the time. But there has been one that I keep coming back to, and that is the Honor 8. The Honor 8 is a phenomenal smartphone. I also even have the phone it was based off of, the Huawei P9, and I still choose to use the Honor 8 over that. The Honor 8 is just one of those rare mixes of great build, great screen, really fast, amazing camera on an Android phone that doesn't break the bank. And it also comes in that amazing blue. So my main phone, most of the time, is the Huawei Honor 8. Next up is laptops, and I actually use 2 laptops on a semi-regular basis. The first, Asus Chromebook, the C201. This is the 4GB model. I actually don't think the 2GB model was ever actually sold. They said it was coming and it never did, which is good. Like, always have more RAM if you can get more RAM. But the C201, especially in this like dark navy blue, is a laptop that I really enjoy using. And it wasn't until recently that this was my only computer. God. It's small, it's light, I think it's 980 grams, it's about 18mm thick. Those of you who don't know what real measurements are, you can use a converter to put it into imperial. It's just like the perfect amount of everything for me. It's fast enough, it's got enough RAM, it's got enough battery, it's got enough ports. Everything is like just enough, and I find that my work, aside from video editing, translates really well to Chrome OS. So we've got, starting off, we've got power in, which looks suspiciously like micro USB type A, but it in fact is not. It's a proprietary Asus charger, but it is bidirectional, which is good. We've got micro SD, micro HDMI, a combo 3.5mm headphone and microphone jack, and on the other side we've got 2 USB 2.0 ports. That's it. It's got an 11.6 inch 1366 by 768 screen. The resolution I'm fine with. I'm not the biggest fan of it being glossy, and I'm definitely not a fan of it being TN, but for $199 I can kind of forgive it. Alright, next up we have my second laptop, which I bought recently, which is the Lenovo Yoga Book. So I've got the Real Pen, or the Any Pen, whatever they want to call it, attached there magnetically, and then of course, because it's a yoga, it does that. You can have it in laptop mode, for whatever reason, flat mode, tent mode, stand mode, and then tablet mode. I was really pumped to get a yoga book when I saw one at IFA. So I actually bought this with my own money, and I won't say I'm disappointed with it, because it's still a great device, but some of the sheen has definitely wore off, and I mean that like physically as well as psychologically. The lack of ports would be less of an issue if they were USB-C ports. So the only ports we've got on this thing are micro USB for charging, micro HDMI for display out, a 3.5mm headphone jack. And if you want to use any peripherals, you're going to need adapters, and that's fine. But already USB-C adapters are way easier to find than micro USB adapters are, and it just shows how long this was in development for, where they stuck with micro USB instead of Type-C, which is a shame because otherwise the Yoga Book is insanely great. It's about 4.5mm. I don't even know if this is showing up on camera. This is 4.5mm per half. It's just under 700 grams in total. I don't know, I mean, the other cool feature is the keyboard isn't always there. So, give it a second, the keyboard should just light up like that. Hell yeah. Wow, something actually happened on video that I wanted to happen. I do genuinely love the Yoga Book. Again, it's really small, it's really light. I can throw it in my bag, quite literally, and not feel bad about it. The Real Pen is insanely good. I think I've only ever used the actual, I don't think I've ever actually used the real ink nib more than like to show off to people. But I do use the note-taking feature. I do use like the sketching feature and like directly into OneNote, because I take this to university and I take all my class notes on it. So my second laptop is a Yoga Book, though this is like a lot more expensive than the C201. I think I paid $510 for this, and then like 2 days later it went up to 550. But like I said, it is like exponentially more powerful. It's a quad-core Atom X5, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, a way nicer screen. It's 1920 by 1200 and it is IPS, but it is super small. That is my one gripe. It's a 10.1 inch screen. That keyboard gets really cramped. I would have much preferred a 12 inch version, or like even an 11 inch version. Just that extra bit of width on the keyboard would have really helped it here. Alright, second to last we have my computer, which you can't see, but it's down here. This is a computer I built myself, which is, I spoke about it in a previous video. I've never bought a pre-built computer, just because I don't see the point. Building a computer is actually surprisingly easy. If most of it is keyed, it can't really go in wrong anymore. We don't have like slave and master drives. You don't have like the really flimsy IDE connectors. Saying that, we've now got somewhat flimsible SATA connectors, or SATA, or serial ATA connectors, but I still much prefer serial ATA over IDE. So starting off the case is the Element Gaming Atomic, and it cost me all of £35. I love this little case. This little thing is super adorable. It's a mini ITX case. It only supports mini ITX, supports a full-size ATX PSU, but you really shouldn't put one in there. Learn from my mistakes. I'm going to put some B-roll of this computer in over this voiceover, but I love this little thing. It's running an AMD AM1 platform with a mini ITX AM1 motherboard of the vendor. I cannot be sure. Give me a second. I know I'm probably out of frame. I can't even see myself. But I found some things. I found the AMD Athlon 5350 box, which you don't really have anything to scale because it's really tiny. It's like adorably tiny. Speaking of things that are adorably tiny, I found the motherboard box. It is the AMD AM1i AM1i-A by Asus. And again, like, talk about just like teeny tiny boxes. Like this is my yoga book. Like, this is a small ass box. So inside there we've got the Athlon 5350, we've got 16 gigs of DDR3, 1600 MHz RAM. We've got a 120 gig Kingston SSD. We've got a 500 watt ATX non-modular power supply, which is the worst decision I could have made, which was just carrying over that power supply from my old case, which was a Fractal Design Core 1000. Which was a micro ATX case, but it had a lot more room for the power supply. This case does not have any spare room. If you can afford it, go for an SFX modular power supply. If you can't, just go for an SFX power supply. I mean, I'm very lucky that the 5350 doesn't produce a lot of heat and the cooler is very small, but I know for a fact when I upgrade this next month, when Ryzen comes out, I'm definitely going to need a new power supply. Moving on to another thing you can't see, so I'll put some more B-roll in. My monitor. It is a 29-inch ultra-wide by LG. So it's 29-inch, it's 2560 by 1080, it's IPS, it's 8-bit, it's like 60 Hz refresh. It's really good for all the productivity stuff I want to do for it. So if you have a non-linear video editor open, so most video editing applications, you have the timeline across the bottom, and it's so nice to be able to see so much of your timeline in one go. Do I wish it was higher resolution? Somewhat, but this is the highest resolution you can get at this size. And I have reviewed 34-inch ultra-wides, and they just seem too big for me. I ended up moving my head a lot to see the corners. I'm sitting down at my desk, I don't want to have to move my neck that much. Wow, I just realised that makes me sound really lazy. Anyway, the 29-inch ultra-wide is mounted on the wall by a really old VESA mount that I have no idea why it still works, but I'm not going to jinx it because I really can't afford for that thing to be broken. Last off, we have peripherals, so keyboard and mice. This is like a really cheap combo unit. I paid £18 for it in Asda. It's a Logitech M185 mouse and a K270 keyboard. Now I bought these A because they were cheap, and B, I have really good history with cheap Logitech products. I've bought other cheap keyboards before and they just kind of suck. It is a membrane keyboard that I'm not too fond of, but every cheap mechanical keyboard I found seems to have a US layout, and I utterly despise the US QWERTY layout. So I think what I might end up doing is buying a cheap mechanical keyboard and then buy one that is compatible with Cherry MX keycaps, and then put a UK keyboard layout on there. So that was it, guys. That is my tech setup. There are other things, but those are the most important things. Again, I have a Canon NG4220 printer. The printers are the worst. I have some Logitech speakers, which model number I'm forgetting. I have an old FreeTalk HD webcam, again, model number I'm forgetting. They're okay, they're not really as important as the rest of the stuff. That said, I mean, you would have seen it already, but me filming hasn't. I'm gonna put some B-roll, some fancy shots of all this stuff in, and if for whatever reason you want to buy any of them, I will put links in the video description to where you can buy some of these things. So, this is Vlogmas Day 8, also called My Tech Setup. If you want to find me and talk to me anywhere, you can speak in the comments below, I will respond. If you want to catch me anywhere else though, I am at mobile_dom, anywhere important. So that's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's Snapchat. You can even hit me up on Google+, seeing as I'm probably one of the few people that are still on Google+, just search for my name. But, until then, this was Vlogmas Day 8, and I'll see you tomorrow.